It's the final match of the USL Jägermeister Cup group stage, and it's presented by UCrops. The Richmond Kickers face off with the Spokane Velocity for the third time this season in all competitions. It happens tonight at City Stadium. I'm Jack Edwards with you on ESPN Plus tonight. Let's set the scene for these two teams. First off, for Richmond and where they sit in their standings. Their 4-team group, they sit in third place with just 9 points through their 7 games. They're eliminated from winning their group. They can't advance to the knockout stage on that metric. For Spokane, they're also eliminated as they enter into this 8th match of the group stage. They also have 1 win through the first 7 games, just 5 points. But the beauty of the Jägermeister Cup means it is not elimination for the two sides as of yet. The 3 group winners advance to the knockout phase, but the 4th team that advances is not based on points, it's based on total goals scored, and that's going to be a big chance for both teams in this final match. Despite the points not being in their favor, they can try and march back. The non-group winner with the most goals advances. Omaha have 13. They play later tonight against Madison. Richmond, they've got 6 goals. Spokane, they've got 7 goals. Both coaches admitting if they want to advance, it's going to take a Herculean effort in terms of goals scored in our match today to try and advance to the next round. It's going to be a potential track meet back and forth in the 3rd meeting between these sides this season. Now, they've met twice already, both of those wins going the way of the Spokane Velocity, 2-0 all-time against Richmond. That first win as a club ever came all the way back on March the 16th. They also went back on April 20th. A scoreline of 2-1 and a scoreline of 2-0. A great start historically against Richmond for Spokane. A 3rd time ever they will meet, and it's the first time in the Jägermeister Cup. It's presented by UCrops. We've got some lineup changes for both teams to tell you about, and a potential debut between the pipes for Richmond. Excited to have this one. It's the Kickers and the Velocity up next after this break.
Asia, your car's small.
It's a little cramped, but it's fine.
Fine? When you became MVP once, was that fine? No, you did it twice.
They built you a statue.
But you're fine with this tiny car when you could just sell it to CarMax?
You're right. It's not fine.
I can't feel my legs.
Never settle on the lot or on the court. CarMax.
So we've decided to sell the house.
Oh, yeah? Who's your realtor?
Well,
home for sale, home for sale. Over here, guys, over here. Only $10.
Where do I find comps? What is encumbrance? How do I escrow?
Here's what I found for Scarecrow.
actually, I've been meaning to ask who you and Paul worked with.
Welcome to Royal New Kent Golf Club. Designed by world-renowned architect Mike Strantz, Royal New Kent's a one-of-a-kind Irish-style golf course located 20 minutes east of Richmond, Virginia. Royal New Kent was featured in Golf Week's top 100 public courses in the country. Hidden behind grassy knolls and hand-stacked rock walls, each hole offers several playing options to fit a wide range of abilities. Visit royalnewkent.com or follow us on social media for more information on tee times and rates. Remember, come to Royal New Kent Golf Club to Golf Ireland in Virginia.
We would not have a business today if it weren't for the support of the many, many people within the Richmond community. To me, we're working as a team to enhance the quality of life for all residents.
It's about being the best that you can be. It's about enriching the lives of people in your community. There's a reason why we have the tagline Nourish, because it's really about nourishing the lives of the people that work for us and the people that we serve. That's what the UCrops brand stands for.
Jägermeister is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the inaugural USL Jägermeister Cup. Take a shot at glory and celebrate the magic of this exciting new tournament all year long. Please drink responsibly. Moments away from kickoff between the Richmond Kickers and the Spokane Velocity, presented by UCrops. A special day. It rounds out the inaugural USL Cup group stage and a chance for both teams to try and advance based on goals scored. The lineups now for the two sides. First off for the Richmond Kickers, coming off of a 3-0 defeat on the road at Union Omaha in the league this weekend. They make 6 changes, including in net. James Sneddon making his professional debut between the sticks. We'll talk more about him as the game continues to progress. A 4-3-3 shape could flex around a little bit based on the personnel they've got on hand. No, in the starting lineup, no Emiliano Terzaghi. He's on the bench. Did not play in either of the first 2 meetings between these two sides. A potential threat to bring off the bench for Darren Sawatsky. As for Spokane, they're coming off of a 1-1 draw last Friday at 1 Knoxville. They stayed out east, spent a day in Knoxville this weekend, and they make 6 changes after that match last time out. Also in the between the pipes, Brooks Thompson made 5 saves last match rather. He comes out. Coming on in his place, Carlos Marancio as part of those 6 changes. The back 3 as well. Coming in, Cameron Miller comes on for Ahmed Longmire, who scored the lone goal in that draw against Knoxville. Live scenes now at City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia. A hot day. High 80s right now, got up into the 90s earlier on in the day. Could see a potential hydration break as we continue on through our match today. Third meeting all time between these two sides, and the black kits are the Spokane Velocity on the left side of your screen with Joe Schmidt in the center circle for the visitors. Richmond trying to get a first ever win against the Velocity in their all red kits at home. They'll be heading from right to left. Head official in our match today is Rafael Santos. Wait for his first whistle to get ourselves underway. As both teams know, they'll need a lot of goals to advance to the next round. Could we see a shootout and potentially a massive goal-scoring outlay by either of these sides? Or will they be content to try and just get a victory as they gear up for the final stretch in the USL League One? In the center circle is Joe Schmidt making his second appearance in the Jägermeister Cup since joining on loan. We have our first whistle and we are underway. Spokane from left to right with the first possession of our ball. Jack Edwards here with you on ESPN Plus to bring you all the action. Colin Fernandez cushioned that ball down. Jome played it back. Josh Donlin was the target of that long ball forward. Couldn't quite be picked out. Was able to be rolled back by Azriel Gonzalez. Looks to be a similar back 3 shape. Potentially a back 4 though for Spokane. Changed things up, dropping Jome into that back 3. He's lined as the furthest on the left-hand side. Javier Martin Hill with the ball on our near side as we get a sense for how these two sides will approach this match. Speaking to both coaches ahead of this one, Darren Sawatsky and Lee Wiedman, they both knew that it was going to take a massive performance. They really have to go after it if they want to try and get through. Richmond at a point looked like they had a chance to advance as group winners in Group 1. A few shootout wins, getting them 6 points from their 3 draws. 1 win though meant they only had 9 points, and they're not quite able to push themselves up to the top of their group in our match here today. And as we mentioned in the open, that means the tiebreaker for these two teams to try and advance as the 4th place team into the knockout phase means it'll be based on total goals scored. And that's going to be a big comeback effort for both teams. 6 goals scored across the 7 games for Richmond, 7 goals scored for Spokane. We'll keep an eye on that match between Union Omaha and Forward Madison, set to kick off at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Omaha currently the leading side in terms of goals scored for non-group winners. They'll probably set the standard after our match here tonight. Madison trying to win their group outright with a result against their rivals. Hill plays the ball forward. Luke Merrill, second consecutive start. Also another loanee joining the club. Both Merrill and Joe Schmidt joining on loan from Hartford Athletic. Hill eyes the long ball forward. Akale trying to threaten for that. Merrill wanted that one to roll out of play, and it went out of play before João Gomiro could keep the ball in touch. Merrill. Now Schmidt. Ishjom. Ball over the top as we see the keys to the game brought to you by CarMax. First off, for the hosts Richmond, Darren Swatsky saying the big focus with a game that could be high scoring like this one is limiting the counterattack possibilities when they lose possession high up the field to try and stop Spokane from creating much in that regard. Flip side for Spokane, they've won those previous 2 meetings on the season so far, and dealing with the identity was kind of what the way that Lee Veman phrased it. Knows what to expect from Richmond in terms of how they like to play. They have an identity and they stick by it. They've dealt with it twice, and they're going to try and continue with the series sweep on the season in all competitions. Ryan Sierakowski cushions it down. Those keys were brought to you again by CarMax. Gamiro aiming for the run of Sierakowski. He forces a sliding challenge from Hill. Sierakowski, very experienced at this level. Joined in June of 2023. Will allow Maxi Schenfeld. Trying to deliver that ball into the box. Repelled away. And again, it will go out for a Richmond throw in. Schenfeld experienced at the League One level back in 2021 and 2022. Years with Tucson and Fuego. Spent some time in Major Arena Soccer League as well as with the Harrisburg Heat at the indoor level. Offers a very different profile to your standard player. He'll be on the operating as a left back in this Richmond lineup today. The ball into the box, aiming for the back post, chested down by Merrill. It's cleared high and further away. Schenfeld. Nutmeg by Gomiro. Brought down from behind. It's going to be a free kick. A wag of the finger by Colin Fernandez. He felt that the challenge was clean, but Rafael Santos whistles for the first free kick. Let's see another look at this one. Nutmeg comes off there. A slight push. Got the challenge in cleanly there, but the referee saying it was for the first infringement, and that's why the ball is spotted where it is. Miro and Schenfeld both stand over it. Five in red line up at the edge of the 18. Schenfeld will go for goal, low delivery, and forces a strong save for Carlos Marancio. First shot on target, and the first save made by the goalkeeper. Solid free kick there from Schenfeld. We'll see it again here. Left-footed, it's finding that bottom corner. You expect Marancio to deal with it. And he pushes it out now for the first corner of our match. And Gomiro, who watched his teammate take the free kick, will have sole duties over this corner kick. The Brazilian whips into the box near post, and Richmond opened the scoring early on. What a start for Chandler O'Dwyer. A great run, a great flicked-on header. Richmond take an early lead, 1-0. If they're going to advance, it's going to take a lot of goals, and they get it started early. O'Dwyer, the flick on at the near post. Marancio made the save on the free kick, couldn't keep that one out with the right hand. And here we are, Richmond to jump out to an early 1-0 lead. Crowd still getting settled in their seats. Not even 7 minutes into our match, and Richmond strike first. Chandler O'Dwyer, his first goal in the Jägermeister Cup. In the starting lineup, just 3 goals. 2 of them coming from Adrian Billhart, 1 from Ryan Sierakowski. Gomiro gets his first assist in Jägermeister Cup play. How does Spokane respond to this early setback? Again, the uniqueness of this competition means that Schmidt plays that ball forward. A win obviously would be a nice confidence booster for Richmond. They haven't won since July 3rd against Forward Madison. That was a 2-1 win in the league. They're 7 without a win in the league and the cup. So getting a win as they enter into their final 6 league games as they try a playoff push to the final stretch of the season would be a welcome boost. But of course, if we're able to put some pressure on Omaha in that total goals scored category, we could be in for an entertaining Thursday night. And confirmation, O'Dwyer with the goal. He cushions that ball back to Gomiro. Those two players combined. Clipped into the box now. Sierkowski, rather, who was combining with Gomiro. O'Dwyer in the box. Bill Hart moves out to collect. His dribbling carries that one out of play, but Ish Jome the last to touch it. It's out now for a throw. Simon Fitch, the ever-present fullback. Spent his entire pro career with Richmond. Take this throw in, offset. Good work from Sierkowski. Corner number 2 to come here as we see the injury report for Richmond, brought to you by Bon Secours. Nicholas Simmons and Beckett Howell, the two players listed out with injury. Some of the youth for Richmond unavailable for this match here today, but hopeful still. Kind of a good result as they've gotten healthy. Emiliano Terzaghi back available on the bench as Schenfeld delivers the corner, this time into the box. First header won by Spokane. Fernandez cushions it for Akale. Gomiro makes life difficult, as did G. Franca. Sliding challenge there, a step slow, but the referee says there wasn't enough contact for there to be a free kick. Going down a little too softly in the eyes of Rafael Santos was Azriel Gonzalez. O'Dwyer, our goal scorer, cushions that header forward. Bill Hart able to drive at the defense. Strong challenge put in, but the referee says all ball from Colin Fernandez. Injuries have been a big challenge for Richmond all across this season. Spokane also bit by an injury bug right now. They had 5 players listed as unavailable for this trip. After that match at 1 Knoxville on Friday, the team stayed out this side of the country, not traveling back to Spokane. Trained in Knoxville, spent a day out in Knoxville. Then able to travel up to Richmond on Tuesday, get themselves acclimated. Again, on the attack, the save parried away. Marancio makes his second save just 10 minutes into the match. Cushioned by Vaughn. All Richmond in the attacking third right now. Bill Hart, Vaughn, he goes down in the box under the challenge. It's cleared away. Barnathan back now. Garnett quickly moves it to Schenfeld. Gomiro. That one almost bouncing kindly. The cushioned touch there by Vaughn. And Spokane are penned back here. Ranging to the back of the defense is G. Franco. Was wondering what this back line would end up looking like. Would it be a back 3? Would it be the back 4? It looks like to go to Barnathan. Bumped up a line into the midfield. Franca and Garnett operating as a center back pairing with fullbacks in Schenfeld and Fitch. Gomiro lays it off. Now Fitch. Bill Hart. Barnathan. Maxi Schenfeld. Given time to pick up his head. Here's Griffin Garnett. Another one of those youth products here in Richmond they're trying to continue to develop and nurture. Sierkowski cushions down his long ball. Gomiro has the assist on our match today. Lays it across. Schenfeld. Gomiro pulling the strings in our early stages. He swings it to Fitch. Bill Hart drops off. His touch, though, was a little loose. He'll do well to get a toe back in. Azriel Gonzalez. Now Fernandez from the feed from Jome. And the press is gone. Richmond commit the foul. And it's a free kick to come for the visitors. Marancio brought back in between the pipes. Started 6 of the 7 games in the Jägermeister Cup so far. The result as it stands for Richmond, they would bump up to 12 points accumulated in the Jägermeister Cup group stage. They would go level with Greenville. Just the way things are going to break out, not possible for them to advance. Greenville and Charlotte set to play. In between the pipes, a big moment for James Sneddon. Talked to Darren Swatsky ahead of this one. He was very excited to bring in the youngster for his professional debut. Signed an academy contract back in June of 2023. Featured in a friendly against Comunicaciones. But for the first time in a professional match, he gets the chance to feature. Worked with Akira Fitzgerald back in 2023. He's now with Pablo Jara as well, another very experienced USL League One goalkeeper. Just 18 years of age, from Richmond, Virginia. We'll see how he's tested by Spokane in the match today. He's also tested in the build-up for Richmond as they try and build from deep. There's a real confident pass. Found Bill Hart, but the touch was a bit heavy. Here's Schmidt now. Merrill gets it back from Akale. Joe Schmidt. Now Jome coming from deep, lines that one into the box, and James Sneddon, his first major action, not a shot on target to save. The youngster picks it up. We'll see it again. Jome coming from deep, gets it out of his feet, plays the low delivery. Sneddon, confident enough. Merrill. Akale makes the clever run on the underlap. Low into the box, it's blocked, now cleared away. Maybe Spokane's turn to try and control possession and keep Richmond back. Just to further elaborate on that point for Richmond in their group stage play right now, Greenville and Charlotte, two of the other sides who play in this group, will meet later on in this final group phase. That means that because some of them have to get points from that game, there will not be a scenario in which Richmond can advance as top of their group. They also don't hold the head-to-head against Greenville in their head-to-head meetings. So currently would put them on 12 points, which is not a bad showing from their 8 games in the Jägermeister Cup. But for both teams, if they want to advance, that constant undertone is it would need a lot of goals. 15 minutes gone here, and Chandler O'Dwyer has the lone goal. Scored 7 minutes into the match after a great corner kick delivery by João Gumiro. Miller. Marcelo Lage. Anchoring the heart of the defense again for the Velocity. One of just 5 players who retained their place after the 1-1 draw with Knoxville. Jome the target of this long ball forward, and Sneddon comes off his line and claims. Last few games of this season offer a launching pad for players if they want to try and staple down a place as they continue to develop their role within the squad. Griffin Garnett, as he gets on the ball here. He signed his first professional contract back on August 7th. They are very high on the young defender. He turned 18 on the 23rd, signing his first pro deal a few weeks before. Good challenge in the midfield by Franca. Gumiro. Ball forward will go too long, but more on Garnett. Originally was committed to University of Washington for the class of 2025, but obviously signing the pro deal. The plans have changed there, and Darren Swatsky, talking to him, full of praise for the partnership the USL has with Bellevue University, offers Garnett a chance to have the best of both worlds, stay in the professional setup, continue to develop as a pro, while being able to get that college education with Bellevue. Talked about being a good friend of Jamie Clark, manager at UW. Though they lost a good player in Garnett as a recruit. The best thing for the player to do. Sierakowski frustrated, couldn't get on the end of that. It rolls out of play. Sierakowski, big addition for this Richmond side. Part of that mix of the youth and the experience. Two teenagers in the starting lineup in Sneddon and Garnett. And a mix of players in their mid-20s, early 30s, as they offer key lessons and building blocks as Richmond continue to try and develop their youth pipeline. It's a free kick for the Velocity. Simon Fitch, the offending party in that instance. And it's also an interesting clash of the new kid on the block and the history. Richmond, if not the longest consecutively running club in American soccer history since 1993. For the Velocity, they announced themselves back in March of 2021. It's their inaugural professional season. They're playing here in the USL League One. Put together a very talented group for this first campaign. In the league, they sit in a good position to try and make the playoffs in their first ever season. Fitch in front of the home bench. It's gonna be a foul from behind. That one going against Azriel Gonzalez. Quickly taken, and now here's Schenfeld. Laid off. Gamiro. Sierakowski creeping forward into the 18-yard box. Stands it up into the box. It's cleared away. Schmidt cushions his header down, or rather Schmidt on it now. Merrill. Franca stepped forward. He got ahead to it, but only finds Colin Fernandez in the midfield for Spokane. Lage. Schmidt in the midfield. Josh Darling not gotten a ton of touches of the ball in our early stages. He does get on that one, but Luke Merrill can't get a subsequent touch. He's got his feet twisted around, the loanee from Hartford. Making his second start in the Jägermeister Cup since joining earlier in August. We showed you some of that video in the open, but these teams have met twice so far this season. They came back in March and in April. Both teams have changed quite a bit since back then. Some signings made by Spokane to change the outlook and the makeup of their team. For Richmond, although he doesn't start, Emiliano Terzaghi was a threat that Spokane did not have to deal with when they met in those first two meetings. There was a foul against Spokane. The referee wants it taken in the spot of the infringement. The ball was rolling on the second try. So Richmond will try a third time for this free kick. That'll be a free kick from behind. Joe Schmidt earning that. James Vaughn trying to win it back. Hill. His pass turned over Lage. O'Dwyer. Touch out of his feet let him down. He was trying to feed it back to Gamiro. Spokane can evade the press and go all the way back to Marancio. Still waiting for the first shot for the Velocity. 3 shots for Richmond, all 3 of them on target. 2 saved by Marancio, 1 by O'Dwyer, finding the back of the net on the corner. Fitch on the overlap. A few options with him includes O'Dwyer, a low shot, and it goes just wide. It took a deflection along the way, and it's out now for a corner. Chandler O'Dwyer continues to be a handful now for Spokane. Fitch couldn't get the first touch correct, but he kept his run going. It was a clever idea to go to O'Dwyer, but it looked like it was Marcelo Lage whose pass turned it over just moments before. Third corner now for Richmond, the second one in this corner. It was Gomiro's delivery to the near post that led to the first goal. This time goes deeper in the box. That header is pushed away, but there's a push in the box against Richmond, and Spokane have a free kick. We've talked a lot about the Jägermeister Cup outlook for the league. Richmond sitting in 11th place right now with 16 games played. They're just 4 points off Tormenta, though, in that 8th place spot in the bottom of the playoff bracket. 6 games left, 4 of them coming at home. A big chance for this match to prove as a launching point, if not into the knockout stages of the Jägermeister Cup, but into the final run of the regular season. As for Spokane, they've played just 13 matches, 3 fewer than Richmond, but they sit on 19 points, 2 clear of Tormenta, and they're sat in 7th place right now in a really good spot with those matches in hand and a big upcoming 3 games at home. They'll have been on the road for 9 or 10 days when they head back to Spokane after this trip to Knoxville and now to Richmond. The next 3 games, though, are against Union Omaha, against Central Valley Fuego, and against South Georgia Tormenta, all 3 of those being at home. Here's Bill Hart. Vaughn. Miscommunication between him and Fitch. Fitch driving his run forward. The pass by Bill Hart going back towards where he was originally. Lee Wiedman with some instructions for his players, including Ish Jome. He signed in June. One of those players that Darren Swansky mentioned that changed the outlook for Spokane, that they can't look at those previous 2 meetings earlier on in this season and draw a ton of takeaways. The teams have changed quite a bit in the months that have followed those 2 wins. Merrill. Here's Akale. It's a big challenge in the midfield. Vaughn was a step slow there, and he's going to be booked for that challenge. He's the first player now with a yellow card on our match today. You can tell what he was trying to do there. He was going to stop Masango Akale by any means necessary. As Akale skips past him with this touch. Right leg coming across. Bit of a cynical foul by the midfielder. Stops the threat and gets a yellow card for his troubles. Colin Fernandez, the lone player over the ball. Number of options to aim for. Scoops that one in. Miller lifted in, and Sneddon able to claim with 2 hands. Sierkowski has his pocket picked by Fernandez. Darling, great back heel. Masango Akale now moves it across for Gonzalez. Right-footed shot, goes just wide. Took a deflection along the way. What a stop by the debutant. James Sneddon parries that one away. Great back heel by Darling. Akale finds Gonzalez with the right foot, gets that out of his feet, and that's a brilliant save by James Sneddon on second viewing. Immediately hyped up by his teammates on his debut. So right fingertip stop that keeps our match at a 1-0 scoreline for the hosts. Colin Fernandez, his left-footed in-swinger, is pushed away. First-time ball. That's going to go right back to Spokane. Not the idea they had in mind. Akale, bit of time, bit of space. His shot, though, blocked. Diligent defensive work. Fernandez, another delivery. That header flicks it along. Vaughn got ahead to it. Spokane keep the pressure up. Moments after their first shot on target, they keep things ticking. Comes out to be a corner kick again, this time on the far side. And this time it'll be Masango Akale who will make his way across. Akale. Dangerous delivery. That header goes just over the bar. Spokane made some half-hearted appeals for this one to stay on this end of the field. The header goes wide. Goal kick to come. Second look at the header. Akale, the in-swinger. Tall header in the center of the box by Marcelo Lage. Center back just couldn't quite push it towards goal. Pushed back into play by Sneddon. Header down. Schmidt does well to slide. Akale, his touch though, goes out for a throw for Richmond. Well, looking ahead, a USL League One matchup kicks off. September coverage on the CBS Sports Network. The Players Shield holder Union Omaha visits newcomer Spokane Velocity, their first ever regular season clash. That's coming up on September 4th at 9 o'clock Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. The two teams break now for our first half hydration break after half an hour. High 80s in Richmond. And the teams will have a moment to catch their breath, get hydrated, and prepare for the final stages of our first 45 minutes. Separated by a 6-minute goal by Chandler O'Dwyer. We can flash back and see how we've gotten here with that early goal. João Gomiro with a great right-footed delivery and a great header by Chandler O'Dwyer. Really tough execution to get right as he comes across that. Just gets the forehead to it, and too much power on the in-swinging ball in, and the flicked-on header for Marancio to save. And it goes past him early on. That's the lone goal of our match so far. Won't be quite enough to get them through to the knockout phase of the USL Jägermeister Cup. But it does well to make the home crowd very happy. Put them one step closer to getting a result for the first time since early July. Third ever meeting between these two sides as Darren Swatsky barks out instructions to his players. Very passionate, both as a player and as a coach. He's hopeful that they can go for it in this one. The way this cup format is set up, that there's really nothing to be lost by just going for it. Win, loss, draw, shootout, win, shootout, loss. Whatever happens for these two sides, those points, beyond maybe a moral boost, don't make a ton of a difference. Encourages both teams to be free-flowing, be attacking. We've seen some moments for both teams. 4 shots for Richmond, 3 for Spokane. Hydration break. It'll be Maxi Schenfeld. We'll take this throw in. Rafael Santos whistles for play to resume. We'll likely have a second half hydration break as well. Another flick from the fullback. Franca. Barnathan. very versatile weapon for Swansky. He's lined up as a center back, as a left back. Currently playing in that midfield pivot for Richmond. Flicked along. O'Dwyer gets back onto it. On the left foot, the curler took a wicked deflection, and it goes wide. A corner will come now for Richmond. Carlos Marancio almost fell to the ground based on that left-footed effort from O'Dwyer. Took a nasty deflection, and he was the most thankful man in the stadium when that one went over the bar. Schenfeld arcing into the box. A strong and important header made by Cameron Miller. We'll do it all over again from the near side now. It'll be a chance for Gamiro to take the corner from this left-hand side. Ever since that first one, not had the requisite quality on the delivery. They try a short corner into the back post. It's kept in play, and they find the back of the net. Spokane wanted it to go out of play, but it's a second now for Richmond. They lead 2-0. 10 minutes from halftime. O'Dwyer on the double. We'll see it again. Whipped into the back post. Cushioned down, and he just gets the right foot to it. Instinctive from the forward. And the Englishman has got 2 goals now in the first half. Richmond up over Spokane. A goal update for them. They've scored 8 now in the Jägermeister Cup. 5 more, and they go level with Omaha. 6. They put themselves in a real interesting spot, but they've got 2. It's been a great start to the match. Chandler O'Dwyer. That's a foul from behind. Barnathan just hacking at the legs of the defender. O'Dwyer trying to take over from Schmidt. Hill along the ground, near side, Luke Merrill. His pass, though, easily intercepted. Taken back over by Gamiro. Here's Schenfeld now. Gamiro. Schenfeld goes down. He's in quite a bit of pain after the foul by Luke Merrill. Looks like he's going to need a moment to collect himself. They've credited the second goal's assist being Ryan Sierakowski, his header that just put it back in the mixer. As you see again, the foul on Schenfeld just dragged it away from Merrill. Fullback fouling his opposing fullback. Schenfeld back to his feet. Jome. Gamiro blocks the outlet pass. Bill Hart back to Fitch. Barnathan glances over his shoulder. He's got space in the center circle. Schenfeld poking it forward, whips this one. O'Dwyer got a foot to it. Lodge, the header, pushes it away. Fernandez can let it bounce and try that one forward, but only will be one for Josh Dolan to speculatively chase. Garnett. Bill Hart. Gamiro. challenge by Schmidt. Does well to win it back. Gamiro. Quick one-touch passing. It comes to Fitch. Barnathan pushes it now to Schenfeld. He can have a go from distance. That one needed to have it knuckle a bit further to the left-hand side. You could see what the fullback was trying to do. Not a bad effort from Schenfeld. Speculative from distance. And it comes out to be a Carlos Marancio goal kick in the end. Spokane resuming play. It's with Jome. The USL Championship continues on the ESPN networks in September with a Western Conference matchup of teams fighting to stay in the playoff hunt. Last season's champion Phoenix Rising hosts FC Tulsa Friday, September 6th at 11 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Bill Hart. Slinging that one across. Tough for Sierkowski to bring down. Puts up a hand. He appreciated that ball across. But the left winger unable to control that one out of his feet. Akale pressed very tightly. Sierkowski making life difficult. Schmidt now. It's a big deflection. Schenfeld goes down. Akale, no darling, but his touch only finds a red shirt. Fitch. Schenfeld. Here's Franca. It's been to the final 5 minutes of our first 45. It's been a really good performance from Richmond. They've allowed a few chances for Spokane, but they've been clinical in the final third. Referee playing advantage. Bill Hart from distance lines one up. May have been pushed along the way, but Adrian Bill Hart proving to be a threat. Kept the dribbling going after being fouled by Colin Fernandez and forced a save out of Carlos Marancio. It'll be a corner kick. See again, just holds off the challenge. The shot was low. We expect again Marancio to make that save, but can only push it wide of frame. João Gamiro had the assist on the first goal, had the pass before the assist on the second goal, and both of those came from corners on this side of the field. Another delivery from Gamiro to the near post. You can see O'Dwyer attacking that near post header again, but it bounces free. Back to Gamiro. Schenfeld, space, clips it up to the back post, headed down. Ooh, interesting ball across, but no one able to attack it. Marancio can fall. He has been tested in our first half. 3 saves to make. Akale as Azriel Gonzalez is a choice, but Fitch sprints forward and takes over. Great work from the fullback. Clever pass to the feet of Fitch. 3 in Spokane descend on that. Push it out of play for a throw in. Right back over. First half that Lee Beeman and Spokane might like to put behind them as we enter the final stages. Similar in some ways to the first 45 against one Knoxville in their last match. They conceded the first goal. Kempis Tequila scored his 8th goal of the USL League One season. It's following a good move, but a bit of a sense of fortune that it fell kindly. In the second half, they grew back into the game, became the controlling side Spokane did. Derek Waldeck got his first assist for the club since joining from Knoxville after their inaugural season. He assisted Ahmed Longmire for the lone goal of the match for Spokane. It finished in a 1-1 draw. Schmidt penalized for the foul there. Ball was rolling. It's one of those things that you see referees stamping down upon. Free kicks have to be taken in the correct spot. Can't be moving, has to be a proper dead ball. Richmond will get the ball rolling again on the second try. For Richmond last time out against Omaha, it was defined by uncharacteristic mistakes. There was a slip in the 4th minute. Ryan Shello playing out from the back, conceded in the 4th. Penalty later on in the first half. Joe Gallardo put that one away. And moments later in the second half, it'd be a free kick. The wall would just break up. It would find its way through, and it'd be a 3-0 defeat as that's headed away by Martin Hill. Akale back. Just nipping at the heels of Akale. Brought down by Gomiro. Richmond outshot Omaha, outpossessed Los Bujos, but found themselves on the wrong side of a heavy defeat, something that Darren Sawatsky not credited, but looked at as the mental fatigue they're suffering with as they try and get over this hump. 7 games now without a win. Trying to find their way back into the playoff race in the League One season. It's been a really strong performance in the match today as Akale lofts a dangerous ball over the top. Garnett loses out, but he was fouled by Gonzalez from behind. Azriel Gonzalez towing that line to the point of fouling him. James Sneddon pats the shoulder of his fellow teenager in this Richmond starting lineup. We've had 45 minutes.
The 4th official has indicated there will be a minimum of 3 minutes.
Getting 3 more minutes to be added on at the end of our first half. Bill Hart. Lodge. His header only finds O'Dwyer, who's sitting on a hat trick. Headed down, Gomiro. That's a clever flick. Lifts it over the head of Schmidt. Gomiro from distance, and it goes wide. If he pulled it off, would have been a spectacular effort from midfield. Gomiro, I have to say, one of the standout performers in our match so far. Marancio restarts play with the long ball forward. Richmond again on the attack. Bill Hart drops off to receive the ball. He's got Schenfeld, who's been a constant threat coming into this space. Left-footed, curler, Lodge climbs highest to head it away. Barnathan clipped forward. Bill Hart cuts it back. Here's Barnathan. Scooped forward. Garnett, studious defensive work against Akale. He puts it out of play. We're into the final minute of stoppage time as we near halftime. Look back, show you the highlights from round 7 in the Jägermeister Cup, as well as get you teed up for what's going to happen later on in this competition as we get closer and closer to the weekend. The group stages will be finalized. The 4 teams that will advance to the knockout phase will be set. That will do it for our first half of action between the Richmond Kickers and the Spokane Velocity. Darren Swatsky, a lot for him and Richmond to like from that first half effort. Out shooting, out possessing the visitors, and it's currently a Chandler O'Dwyer brace that has Richmond set to take the 3 points in the final match of the group stage of the USL Jägermeister Cup. Halftime content is set to come here on ESPN+. A great first half for Spokane and Richmond. We'll see what the two sides do as we come out of halftime. But our score at the break, it's Richmond 2, Spokane 0.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days, as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Bon Secours, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Bon Secours, primary care for the universe of you. Visit bonsecours.com/primary care to connect with the provider today.
We would not have a business today if it weren't for the support of the many, many people within the Richmond community. To me, we're working as a team to enhance the quality of life for all residents.
It's about being the best that you can be. It's about enriching the lives of people in your community. There's a reason why we have the tagline Nourish, because it's really about nourishing the lives of the people that work for us and the people that we serve. That's what the UCrops brand stands for.
Welcome to Royal New Kent Golf Club. Designed by world-renowned architect Mike Strantz, Royal New Kent's a one-of-a-kind Irish-style golf course located 20 minutes east of Richmond, Virginia. Royal New Kent was featured in Golf Week's top 100 public courses in the country. Hidden behind grassy knolls and hand-stacked rock walls, each hole offers several playing options to fit a wide range of abilities. Visit royalnewkent.com or follow us on social media for more information on tee times and rates. Remember, come to Royal New Kent Golf Club to Golf Ireland in Virginia.
Halftime between the Richmond Kickers and the Spokane Velocity. Currently, with our score brought to you by Simplicity VOIP, it's 2-0. We can look back now at Jägermeister Round 7 and the highlights from last time out.
Into the box. Through the crowd, Dos Santos! It's that minute! Potentially brewing for sure. Luis Lopez putting the score. Charlotte on the carry. A 5-star start. Starting into the screws. And on the counter, the game's for corner. Breakthrough out press. McKinnon has a response. Yes, he does. A sensational strike. Give those two at them. Correa, space. Dustin Correa! His first for Charlotte at a pivotal minute. The Jacks front.
Notice Stadium silent. Liati to take the
the price of change. I know not what course others may take, but as for
Black on my end.
say it with me,
In case it's not
give
supposed to be.
me liberty or give me death.
The Kickers would like to welcome the following groups. In production, Atlantic Union Bank, Defiant Food Group, Estes, the Myers family, U-Crops, 22 Holdings, the Lemus Group, First Reserves, Holmes and Brotherton, Mid-Atlantic Transportation, Taylor Hoffman Wealth Management, Gilbane Building Company, Hartwood Wealth Advisors, Virginia Water Environment Association, Virginia Section, Tri-Cities United Travel Team, Capital One, Timmons Group, Doctors Norman, Obeck and Foy Dentistry, Brown Force IT, Elephant Insurance, St. Joseph's Villa, the Greater Richmond Chorus, Fairfield Foundation, Patrick Henry School of Science and Art, Linwood Holton PTA, Richmond Revival, Sabra, Kinley Horn, Chesterfield Education Foundation, American Society of Civil Engineers, YMCA, Reach Homeschool Group, TNA Workshop, FC Richmond U13 Team, and Richmond United. We would also like to wish a happy birthday to Coleman, Bowie, and Wyatt. And additional birthdays to Adam Law and Sydney Kaiser. Thank you all for your support, and go Kickers. If you're interested in celebrating your birthday at a Kickers match, check out our birthday party package. Each package includes 10 tickets, a reserved picnic table, Pepsi products, on-field recognition, as well as a private meet and greet session. For more information, visit
is the beginning. This is a first practice, a first video session, a first pregame talk. This is a first ticket, a first scarf raise, a first kickoff. This is a tapestry of clubs and players and communities inspired by those who blazed the trail for women's sports, ready to inspire the next generation. We are the USL Super League. We're part of a movement, and this is our moment.
The best nights start with Jägermeister. Made with 56 botanicals. Always served ice cold. for the moments when anticipation becomes celebration. Jägermeister. Meister the moment.
Deciding to go right up through the middle. A shot. Wow! Masango Akali. Long range shot from Nordy. Stopped, and that one trickles in.
When mosquitoes show up, so do we. Terminate.
It's time to bring a classic back.
Welcome back. It's halftime. We've got news and notes here. Here is the USL Jägermeister Cup is going to be decided with the semifinals beginning on September 11th. 3 group winners and the side with the most total goals advancing to the next round of the stage. Now, former Charlotte Independent assistant Dave Carton is going to be the Westchester SC's first ever head coach, as well as the news, of course, earlier this week in the US Open Cup. Indy 11 falling 2-0 to Sporting KC on Tuesday in the first ever Open Cup semifinal in the club's history, falling to SKC. They'll play against LAFC in the final and all MLS US Open Cup final to come later on this year. Those are your news and notes across the USL League One. So we're still in halftime between Richmond Kickers and the Spokane Velocity.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the high five strangers got, game-winning interception, first down, just a nice solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Welcome to Royal New Kent Golf Club. Designed by world-renowned architect Mike Strantz, Royal New Kent's a one-of-a-kind Irish-style golf course located 20 minutes east of Richmond, Virginia. Royal New Kent was featured in Golf Week's top 100 public courses in the country. Hidden behind grassy knolls and hand-stacked rock walls, each hole offers several playing options to fit a wide range of abilities. Visit royalnewkent.com or follow us on social media for more information on tee times and rates. Remember, come to Royal New Kent Golf Club to Golf Ireland in Virginia.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days, as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Bon Secours, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Bon Secours, primary care for the universe of you. Visit bonsecours.com/primary care to connect with a provider today.
Jägermeister is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the inaugural USL Jägermeister Cup. Take a shot at glory and celebrate the magic of this exciting new tournament all year long. Please drink responsibly. Welcome back to City Stadium. Some technical difficulties during our halftime, but the players are back out on the field. We'll recap you with what happened in that first 45 minutes. But we're ready to go between the Richmond Kickers and the Spokane Velocity for half number 2 with a score of Richmond 2, Spokane 0 after our first 45 minutes. Whistle from Rafael Santos, and the red kits heading from left to right will be the Richmond Kickers, and in the blacks, the Spokane Velocity from right to left. I'm Jack Edwards with you on ESPN Plus. Again, we appreciate you staying with us through that halftime. Just to update you on where we're at, Chandler O'Dwyer scored in the 6th and 34th minutes to make it a 2-0 match for Richmond. There were a few chances for Spokane, one big-time save made by James Sneddon. And here's Azriel Gonzalez on the attack for the first time in the second half for Spokane. Into the area. What a start for Spokane. Whipped into the area. He'll bear the brunt of the post. Azriel Gonzalez sprinting in, a great header, but he'll have to deal with the pain of that one. Spokane, within a minute, cut the deficit in half. Azriel Gonzalez, Masango Akale, what a ball, what a header. Not much James Sneddon can do in between the pipes. What a run, but ow. That one will hurt. He's back to his feet quickly. You wonder what that halftime team talk was from Lee Wiedemann and Spokane. They come out of the gates flying after a slow first 45 minutes. And welcome back to the match. In the center circle will be Chandler O'Dwyer. We mentioned his first half brace. Both of them coming from corner kicks. That shot just number 4 on the match for Spokane. 10 taken by Richmond in our first half, and just like that, we're off to a flyer. Richmond with a 2-1 edge. Foul committed in the midfield. Romero, who was very involved in those goals, assisted the first and whipped that second one into the box. Derek Waldeck, a halftime substitute, coming on for Spokane. He got the assist and a fantastic ball in for Ahmed Longmire in their last performance. Fitch trying to kick that one off of Luis Heel, another one of those halftime substitutes. Pushing it down. Here's Waldeck. Schmidt, the former Indiana Hoosier, in the midfield. This is slung out to the right-hand side. Martin Hill. See confirmation of how exactly those subs broke out for Spokane. Ish Jome making way for Derek Waldeck. This change in that left-hand side of the defense, and Luke Merrill, a very attack-minded change here, bringing off the right-sided defender Merrill for the number 10, Luis Heel. That's a foul from behind by Josh Doling. Luke Merrill off. Ish Jome off. Luis Heel and Derek Waldeck both coming on for Spokane. No changes made for Richmond. Why would they? Darren Swatsky must have loved what he saw from his side in that first 45. Would not have liked that very early chance they gave up to Azriel Gonzalez, the best chance of the game on paper for either side. We'll do that free kick again a third time. Not rolling and in the proper spot. Here's Maxi Schenfeld as Richmond and City Stadium recover from that early gut shot they just took, courtesy of a fantastic ball in by Masango Akale and a great diving header by Azriel Gonzalez. Good work done defensively by Martin Heel. Sees that ball out of play. Come out now for a goal kick. Carlos Marancio also made a few first half saves. over flick by Fernandez in the midfield. Marcelo Lage. Akale, lofted forward, aiming for heel. Is run over, forces Griffin Garnett into a header out of play. Josh Darling will allow this throw to be taken by the fullback, Hill. Cameron Miller. Akale over the top, rolls out of play. Elsewhere in the Jägermeister Cup, we're about 12 minutes into the match between Forward Madison and Union Omaha. Madison with a very early goal in that match makes it a 1-0 game. It's a game that, if you're a Richmond or Spokane fan, you're pulling for Forward Madison. They're trying to win their group outright with their performance, and they'll hope that they're able to see out a clean sheet against Omaha and make that total goals scored number to beat stay at 13. As things stand, both Spokane and Richmond are on 8 total goals scored in competition up to this point. There's a slight kick by Fernandez at the ball there, and a bit of frustration from James Vaughn and the Richmond Kickers. So again, as we mentioned in the open of our broadcast, despite the placements of these sides entering the day in their respective groups, they still have a chance to advance to the knockout round based on total goals scored. Be a big second 45 minutes required for both teams. It was a dream start for Spokane, much like it was a dream start for Richmond in our first half. O'Dwyer's goal coming just 6 minutes into the game for Azriel Gonzalez. Cut one back. Franca scooped for Gomiro. Hill with the header. Schmidt. Akale hits the attempted ball over the top for Heel. Akale, it's a tough one to see for Spokane. He just goes down after mishitting that ball. I hope it's just a bit of minor discomfort and nothing major. He's feeling out that left leg. Let's see it again here. Kale just pushes that one forward. Just mishits that ball entirely and immediately goes to the ground. Referee stopping play. Early pause for both teams to talk over any lingering questions, tactical tweaks they want to make just 8 minutes into our second half. We've already made 2 changes, Spokane have. Ariel Mumba, Kamarni Smith, Jack Denton, Ahmed Longmire, the 4 remaining outfield options on the bench. Helped off by the training staff at Kale. 2 goals, 2 assists in the league play. Still waiting for his first goal contribution in terms of a goal in the Jägermeister Cup. He assisted just moments ago. That brilliant ball in for Azriel Gonzalez. He has to come out of the match here for a moment, and we'll see if he'll be fit enough to continue his play. O'Dwyer, that ball forward over hit the forward. He's on a hat trick, O'Dwyer is, trying to find his way in the back of the net for a 3rd time. Kale's day will come to a close. A tough sign for Spokane to lose their very threatening forward option since bringing him in earlier on in the summer in June. He'll come off on his place, Kamarni Smith, former college standout at Clemson. 10 appearances with San Antonio FC back in 2023. Looking for his first goal contribution for his new side in Spokane. Richmond with the ball. Franca, Billhart, Waldeck, studious defensive work. Gonzalez. Now here's Derek Waldeck trying to dribble this one forward. He was fouled by Simon Fitch. It's a free kick now for Spokane. Richmond themselves have some options on the bench should they want to use them. Nil Vinyals, Justin Suko, Emiliano Terzaghi stand out as some of the key cogs that could be brought on. Nathan Awney as well, another very important part after a few changes were made. Landon Johnson came off the bench against Omaha and created 3 chances. A very good performance from the youngster. Great challenge coming across by another youngster, Griffin Garnett, sprinting across to Javier Martin Heel to get a challenge in, but the center back a little slow to get up. He's feeling at that right hamstring, as we'll see again. Martin Hill. It was a strong challenge made by Garnett, but he immediately felt a bit of discomfort. You can see him just feeling at that right leg, and just moments after Masango Akale went off with a slight leg issue. We would hate to see another very talented player in our match today have to step out. They're very high on Griffin Garnett here in Richmond. Spent 2023 with the U17 group. He started 6 of the 7 games here in the Jägermeister Cup. He's been an integral part of the league campaign as well. Signed his first pro deal just a few weeks ago now, and he turned 18 less than a week ago. Fans here at City Stadium, always a great crowd in Richmond, Virginia, year in, year out. A very historic club, not just in the USL League One, but in American soccer in general. You can see Garnett on the right side of your screen, feeling out that hamstring. We'll see if they opt to let him try and get his way back into the game, or if they're going to take no risk with the young defender. Barnathan dropping into defense. They may have a help in that decision with the very natural replacement of Dakota Barnathan. They can just drop back a line into the defense. Slide in a midfielder in the place of Garnett. Long ball forward. No one in red able to chase it down. Marancio. Waldeck. Fitch able to challenge that touch. Pushed back forward. Sneddon. Ball forward. Here's Luis Hill. He's got the run forward by Hill. Waldeck. Gonzalez. Fernandez. Waldeck. See a trio, those in red, preparing to come in for Richmond as they prepare for their first 3 changes of the match. 3 already made it by Spokane as we tick past the hour mark. Franca, the last one to touch. Long ball forward. It'll be a throw in for Spokane, but before that, a chance now for a few changes. Ryan Sierkowski makes way. Landon Johnson comes on in his place. James Vaughn off. Justin Suko coming on as well. And Nathan Awney will come in for Griffin Garnett. Awney, the change there made for Garnett, who went down with that slight leg injury. They'll hope that it's nothing major for the young center back, that his development won't be hampered by any setback in the injury department. Next game is a bit of a ways away for Richmond. They're at Charlotte on September the 14th, so a bit of time for Garnett to get fit and recover ahead of their next league match when they make the trip up to Charlotte. Dahling the target of that pass, but it's blocked, and Schenfeld trying to carry it away, felt that it was going to be a throw-in for his side, but it goes out of play. Spokane throw. Here's Landon Johnson. Simon Fitch, appreciate you joining us here on ESPN Plus. It's Night at the Museums night at City Stadium. Local museums from the Richmond area, bringing stands and bringing in the fans here. Unique experience. Bit of a wait until the next home match. That one will come against Lexington on September 21st. But that will signal 4 of the final 5 games in the league being at home. Fitch clipping that one forward, or Awney rather.
This is your last call
and it
for
goes out of play.
All sales stop after the 70th minute. Last call for
Nathan Awney
alcoholic beverages.
dealt with injury for the early part of this season after a big 2023. 31 starts, had 2 goals, was an integral part of that defense as you see him challenging with Dahling, just a very physical presence, but he was pulling the jersey a little bit, and that caught the attention of Rafael Santos. And it actually may have been the injury for Awney that opened up a spot in the lineup for Griffin Garnett to jump in and seize with both hands. Now they've got a very pleasant problem to deal with just a wealth of options in the heart of the defense. As Kamarni Smith drives it forward. Into the box now for Dahling. Does it bounce kindly for Luis Heel? He lays it off, and the shot goes just wide. Joe Schmidt looking for his first professional goal. The ball to him, got a little choked up on it after he overran it just a little bit. Heel laying it off, and Schmidt just not quite able to get the most controlled shot on it. Good pressing by Landon Johnson from behind made life difficult. Nathan Awney brings down Josh Dahling. He appeals to the assistant referee on the far side, saying he had a good view of it.
starts at the 70th minute. Visit one of the 3 knots bars on the concourse to enjoy.
Animated discussion between Ani and Santos. May have been instructing the center back only to talk to the main official. No yellow given out. So does the one. Sango Akale was fouled earlier on in the match. James Vaughn, the player who was booked, he's made way though since, so no player on the field today. As things stand, on a yellow card. After the foul, it's a free kick in a really dangerous spot. Azriel Gonzalez already has 1 goal. Derek Waldeck with an assist last match on a free kick with that left foot. He'll be the taker. Into the area. It's a great ball in, and it's pounded home. Cameron Miller on the end of another great delivery from Derek Waldeck. And from 2 down at the start of the half, Spokane have come back, and they're all even in Richmond. Richmond 2, Spokane 2. Waldeck just drops it right in there. Nathan Ani beaten to it. Maybe one that the young goalkeeper will look back on and say, I should have come and claimed that one. It was really dangerous delivery. And Cameron Miller trialed with the club before the season started. He's got his first Jägermeister Cup goal. And what a turnaround we've seen in the second half from Spokane.
Spokane goal in the 67th minute, scored by number 12, Cameron Miller.
Luis Heel, Schmidt. Have to say what Lee Wiedman said at halftime has worked. 2 matches running now. The first half has been a bit of a slow one for Spokane. They trailed 1-0 at the break against Knoxville. They came back, got a point in the league. Here today, just whipped into the box. Waldeck heads it away. Pushed along again by Suko. Step overs, but Waldeck pushes him off the ball in the process, commits the foul, and it's a free kick for Richmond in a similar spot to the one they conceded from just a moment ago. But they came back from 1 down against Knoxville. They've come back from 2 down against Richmond. Adrian Billhart.
Thank you, Richmond, for your continued support.
Billhart. Left-footed delivery pushed away. Colin Fernandez. Puts it for Azriel Gonzalez to chase. They've come back from 2 down. What can they do from this point? Billhart tracking back. Good challenge on the ball. Switch, Johnson. Couldn't quite get past Hill. His touch, though, puts him in a bit of trouble. In the end, Schmidt skips over a challenge, plays the pass forward. Luis Heel, Dahlin. Laid off, Waldeck, already 1 assist today. Clips it up to the back post. Header, important there by Maxi Schenfeld. Just got to it ahead of Kamarni Smith. The process, Schenfeld laying himself out. It's been this end that has seen all the goals so far. 2 in the first half for Richmond, 2 in the second half for Spokane. Those fans getting the prime viewing for the action. Schenfeld back to his feet after the clearance with his head. Update on the stats for you, 10 shots to 6. Richmond leading, but have not taken a shot in the second half from distance. Heel puts that one wide. Challenge the young goalkeeper. Second look here is Camarnie Smith laid it off for Luis Heel. As a team leading 4 goals in the Jägermeister Cup so far. That time just didn't quite steer his shot in the correct direction. Shot number 7 for the Velocity. His first goes wide. Now a chance on the attack for Richmond. O'Dwyer, first touch, lays it off to Billhart. He lays it off to Johnson, onto the left foot, the shot. Takes a slight deflection, cushions it for Morencio, who can fall on it. And Johnson trying to come on to big effect. Barnathan. Gamiro. Here's Landon Johnson sprinting forward. He's one-on-one with Waldeck. Landon Johnson onto the right foot. A very good challenge by Waldeck, stayed in front. Johnson got it onto the preferred right foot. Shot was blocked, still just 17 years of age for Johnson. A second look at this dribble forward into the box. Great challenge by Waldeck, read it all the way. Kept himself in front of the forward. It comes out now for a corner where Richmond have had a lot of success. Schenfeld into the back post. Header along by Miller. It's his goal that is the current equalizer in our match. Do we have another goal to see if the 3 points can swing one way or the other? Landon Johnson. Bill Hart into the box. Another good challenge in the area by Spokane. Colin Fernandez kept his feet around him. Pushes it out of play. Bill Hart, great first season with Richmond. Player that Darren Swatsky really wanted to sign. Played 2021 and 2022 with Tormenta. Last year with Detroit City, now with Richmond. Whipped into the box, the header near post. That one goes wide again. It was almost a repeat of the script for the first goal. Chandler O'Dwyer trying to make it a perfect hat trick. Dwyer with 4 goals in the league so far this season. 2 of them came against Fuego earlier on in April. He's never scored a career hat trick in the professional ranks. He's have a chance to make some history here today. The flick on, great touch by Bill Hart, now into the box. He cuts it back. It's left for Johnson. He finds O'Dwyer onto the right foot, trying to just drag it back. Maybe slightly overplayed there from Richmond, who really had Spokane open. Clever touch by Azriel Gonzalez, just knocks it off Barnathan. It's now going to be a throw for Spokane. It's been a great second half for the visiting Spokane Velocity. We break now for our second half hydration break. Still a hot day in Richmond. Cooling down as it gets closer towards the mid-80s. both teams a chance as we enter the final stretch of the match to get a quick breather before we reach that point. 2 goals for Richmond in the first half, 2 goals for Spokane in the second. It's not quite enough to get them through to the next round of the Jägermeister Cup as things stand. Both teams entering the day needing to score a lot here today. We can look now and see how we've gotten to this point so far. It was a great start. João Gamiro, a corner kick into the box. The header flicked on by Chandler O'Dwyer. Nothing Carlos Marancio could do to keep that one away from the back of the net. Made it 1-0 in the 6th minute, and it was a great first half for Richmond. They kept knocking on the door, and it's again a corner kick on this near side. Gamiro puts it into the back post. Great header by Sierakowski to just keep it in play, and then knocked into the back of the net by Chandler O'Dwyer. Just gets that right foot to it, scrapes it in, and he makes it 2 goals in the day, a first half brace. Now, it's just moments into our second half. Azriel Gonzalez slides it out to the far side. Masango Akale, great delivery into the box. What a header it turned out to be. That was just seconds into our second 45 minutes. Akale connects with Gonzalez. He connected with the post. He was okay to continue still in our match today, obviously. Waldeck now on the free kick, whips it into the box, and Cameron Miller gets ahead of the defender and knocks it into the back of the net, makes it 2-2 as we enter into the final 15 minutes plus stoppage time in our match today. O'Dwyer with 2, Miller with 1. Another goal from Azriel Gonzalez. After the hydration break, it's a throw-in for Spokane. Still 2 changes for both sides to make if they want to make them. Masango Akale, Griffin Garnett, likely injury-enforced changes made by both teams. Just to recap you on where the goals are at. Forward Madison and Union Omaha, that match is currently 2-1. Madison still leading, but a goal scored by Union Omaha means that it's now 14 goals they have in the Jägermeister Cup group stage. Currently enough to see them through the next round. Spokane with 9 goals scored in the group stage. Richmond with 8. The Cup will continue to evolve over the coming years. Speaking to coaches across the league, they have differing thoughts, all of them. So we'll touch on that more in a moment as Waldeck able to get on the end of that. Cleared away, put it out for a throw. Some coaches feeling more of a league style or Leagues Cup format like they do in Major League Soccer, where the league shuts down and it's solely the cup play. Could be a potential different methodology. Obviously the change from last year, removing league matches, replacing them with the USL Cup matches, means that only 22 league games to play. More sides coming in 2025 in the USL League One means that expansion will change the format for next year for sure. Kamarni Smith on the break. Gets it out of his feet, but his touch is too heavy, and it's taken back over by Richmond. Talking to Darren Swatsky, he mentioned that it just fell at an interesting time in the calendar for them. With the injury issues they dealt with, they had a solid run in the Cup that meant that their priorities between the Cup and the league juggled at times throughout the season. Learning curve for all teams. Fitch lays it off. Johnson drags it back into the box. Fitch, his shot is blocked, and it's cleared away by Fernandez. Kamarni Smith gets on the end of it. Darling lays it off for Heel. Strong challenge, but Luis Heel dances through too, aiming for his strike partner, Josh Darling, but not able to get it to him. That was, again, patient play in and around the 18-yard box by Richmond, but they just couldn't quite get the ball out of their feet for a proper shot. Fitch's shot was blocked. Couldn't get through the sea of players. Here's Chandler O'Dwyer now. Final 10 minutes now between Richmond and Spokane. 2 changes being prepped for Richmond, their final 2 of the match. Fernandez. Schmidt. Derek Waldeck, a lot of space for the fullback to drive into. Azriel Gonzalez, scorer of 1 so far today. Back to Waldeck, 3 in black in and around the 18-yard box. Landon Johnson keeps his press up, forces Waldeck to choose to recycle possession instead. Marnie Smith, his touch. Top for Derek Waldeck. First time ball, takes a deflection along the way. Nathan Awney wanted that to be offsides, but it's blocked out of play. Corner kick is the verdict. Wealth of set piece options for Spokane. Luis Heel. Chris Cole and Antonio Pineda are preparing to come into the game. Some pushing in the box. You see on the right side of your screen, the referee having a quick word with Marnie Smith and a Richmond defender, making sure that there's nothing untoward by either player. Rafael Santos content with the discussion. The players will get back to their pushing and shoving. And Luis Heel can prepare to deliver the corner kick. Right-footed delivery into the box. Sneddon, that's a good punch away. Took a clatter as he did it. Referee whistles for a free kick for Richmond. James Sneddon again making his professional debut. A chance now for Cole and Pineda to come in. Making way will be Maxi Schenfeld and Adrian Billhart.
Your attention, please. The beatbox
like for like
for
in both situations. Cole on in the left back role. Pineda will come on for Billhart in the attacking ranks. All 5 changes made now by Darren Swatsky.
Leaving the match at number 5, Maxi Schenfeld. At number 20, Adrian Billhart.
Spokane throw. Gomiro trying to dance that one through. Taken over by Fernandez. Marencio. Gonzalez through the legs of his forward, Josh Dalling. What a ball that is. Here's Gomiro. Option on the outside and a few options now in the box. On the right foot, the low shot goes just wide. Coming off the bench, Antonio Pineda immediately trying to get in on the action. Out of his feet, onto the right foot quickly. That one forced Marancio into a dive to his left-hand side, but it goes just wide. Flicked centrally for Heel. Clearance by Cole. Ani can't chase it down. Heel. Gonzalez. One back by Richmond. Pineda has Johnson to his right. Pass a bit overhit for the teenager. He'll get on the end of it. He's got Simon Fitch with him. Also a clever ball to the top of the box for Suko on the right foot. The shot, and they've retaken the lead. Justin Suko with a great right-footed strike. His second in the Jägermeister Cup. And after conceding a 2-goal edge, Richmond retake the lead. The challenge from behind was clean by Pineda. Referee said he got enough of the ball. He drives forward and you wonder, was a chance gone here when he overhit the ball to Landon Johnson? The forward chased it down and picked out a great pass to Suko. And his shot goes between the legs of Hill, under the right hand of Marancio into the back of the net. How big a goal could that turn out to be for Richmond? Still a long ways to go. Looking likely impossible to get them through to the next round. They need a lot more goals, Richmond do. But in terms of a morale booster into this final stretch of the season, Antonio Pineda, who's been a energy burst into this team since he's come on in the match today, plays that back. You don't get credit for that goal in any way, Pineda, but his drive forward and his tackle to win the ball back were integral. The touch going down in the box. Johnson clips it up. It's headed back. He'll be able to keep possession going. Fitch now. Curled into the back post. The header across frame. Just past Suko. And offsides is the verdict. Referee raises his hand. It was offsides by O'Dwyer at the back post. Darling lays it off. Kamani Smith, his touch there too heavy. Rolls out of play. We've ticked past 90 minutes. Here we'll have 6 minutes of added time at the end of our match today. Also a chance here for one last change. Marcelo Lage. Longmire will come on, as will Jack Denton. Coming off, Joe Schmidt and Marcelo Lage. Two final changes for Spokane now.
There will be a minimum of 6 minutes added to the match.
In the midfield, Denton, his first touches since coming on. Rolls one into the channel. Dahlin gets there. Now Waldeck. Luis Heel. His delivery into the box. Azrael Gonzalez was standing under it waiting, but it's headed away, then cleared away by Richmond, who at this point would love to see themselves on the right side of the win column. Fans here trying to will them onwards. They could have been knocked down, knocked back after conceding twice. Azrael Gonzalez and Cameron Miller, both with their first goals for Spokane. Long ball forward. Kamarni Smith. His run is paid off. He gets on the end of it. Fernandez, it's blocked. Good work defensively done by Richmond. Got a goal kick now. James Sneddon, his professional debut. Pineda trying to just chase this ball down. Corner flag may be an option, but he's going to drive this one forward. Forces a great challenge out of Martin Hill. And he'll give him a little hug on the ground, make sure that he can't get back to his feet quick enough to get to the loose ball. That's a push from behind by Chris Cole. Kamarni Smith goes down. Darren Swadsky showing that he did give him a hug. Not going to lose his mind over that one, but he did feel that his forward was impeded after he was brought down. We'll see it again here. Martin Hill, it's a great challenge, and then just a little bit of the left arm over him. I don't know if Pineda's getting to that, if he's free and unencumbered. Probably not enough for a foul or any extra action either. Waldeck to Longmire. That's a push from behind. That's a bit of a careless challenge by Nathan Awney. He committed a foul a bit closer to goal, but on this right channel that led to the Derek Waldeck free kick that led to the goal. The referee may have had enough of Nathan Awney and his challenges. And it's going to produce the yellow card for the center back. Just the second player booked today. Bit of a careless foul to give away for the center back. Just goes to the back of Dahlin, who every time there will go down. And Derek Waldeck. He's got 2 assists now in 2 matches. He's the only one standing over this ball, the only option, and probably the best option on the field for Spokane in this spot. Waldeck's delivery. Another dangerous one. Finds Miller again. But James Sneddon on his debut saves that one. And he'll take his time. The 18-year-old didn't have to move to make this save, but he made sure not to spill it. Put his foot through this one. There's just over 30 seconds. And then anything additional the referee may choose to add on at the end of our match today. Landon Johnson whistled for that free kick. Marancio will come forward to take. Referee has been very consistent about the placement of these free kicks. Forces Marancio to move it back a little bit. Big looping deflection. Smith scoops it back up. Fitch ahead to it as well. Where will that fall in the box? Cleared away. Derek Waldeck brings it down. Jack Denton now has an option. Onto the right foot, Denton still driving the shot. Another great save by Sneddon. Tips that one over the bar in the 97th minute to keep the lead for Spokane. Let's see this one again. Denton moving it onto the right foot. It was a solid effort, and it was a great save by James Sneddon. Everyone forward for Spokane to try and find an equalizer and send it to a shootout. Waldeck's delivery under hit. It's knocked up high, headed away, and that will do it. Richmond get their second ever USL Jägermeister Cup win to round out group stage play with a 3-2 win over the Spokane Velocity. It won't be enough to advance to the next round on goals scored, but they go up to 12 points now, and Chandler O'Dwyer, what a performance it was from the forward, scored the first and the second goal for Richmond on the brace. He is our man of the match for our game today, brought to you by Kiter. His second brace of the season and his first 2 goals in the USL Jägermeister Cup as part of a winning effort for the Richmond Kickers. Let's take one more break. On the other side, we have our full-time highlights and stats as the Richmond Kickers take all 3 points with a 3-2 win over the Spokane Velocity.
We would not have a business today if it weren't for the support of many, many people within the Richmond community. To me, we're working as a team to enhance the quality of life for all residents.
It's about being the best that you can be. It's about enriching the lives of people in your community. There's a reason why we have the tagline Nourish, because it's really about nourishing the lives of the people that work for us and the people that we serve. That's what the UCrops brand stands for.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days, as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Bon Secours, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Bon Secours, primary care for the universe of you. Visit bonsecours.com/primary care to connect with a provider today.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the inaugural USL Jägermeister Cup. Take a shot at glory and celebrate the magic of this exciting new tournament all year long. Please drink responsibly. Welcome back to City Stadium, where we round out our broadcast here today. The Richmond Kickers applauding their home fans, where they delivered a 3-2 win in Richmond, Virginia. Jack Edwards here with you on ESPN Plus to close out the broadcast here today. First off, with our full-time highlights. The two sides entered the day knowing they would need a lot of goals to advance. We didn't get quite enough for them to advance, but we got a thriller, a 5-goal thriller. João Gomiro picks out Chandler O'Dwyer for a great first shot of the match, first goal of the match for Richmond, for both teams, and for Chandler O'Dwyer, as we see another corner kick. This one in the 34th minute. Gomiro puts it up to the back post. Great work by Sirikowski to keep it in play, and just enough done by the forward. Chandler O'Dwyer gets a right foot to it to keep that one in play and finds the back of the net. O'Dwyer with that goal there. Jump now to the second half. Azriel Gonzalez moves it along to Masango Akale. Watch his movement off the ball. He points to where he wants it, he sprints there, and he knocks it home. Takes the brunt of the pain on the post coming through it, but what a header it was by Gonzalez for his first goal for the Spokane Velocity. That makes it 2-1. Now we'll jump a few moments later. Derek Waldeck, coming off an assist last match, picks out Cameron Miller for his first ever professional goal. He puts that past James Sneddon, making his first ever professional appearance. Now we jump later on, 88th minute now. Antonio Pineda wins this one back. He has the run from Landon Johnson up his right-hand side. He overhits the pass, though, but Johnson, just 17 years of age, keeps his composure. He finds Justin Suko, and he is going to find the bottom left corner with a great finish. Carlos Marancio not able to do enough to keep that one out. Justin Suko, with a great strike off the bench, makes things 3-2, our full-time score. Our full-time stats here on your screen. Out-shooting Richmond are 16-9. They have the shot edge. Possession slightly in favor of Spokane, but of course, the 3 goals for Richmond outdoing the 2 for Spokane. A strong performance on the stat department for the Richmond Kickers. We see those full-time stats there as the 2 teams gear up for their next matches at Charlotte for Richmond, for them looking ahead, and for Spokane against Union Omaha at home next time out. We can round out our broadcast by looking at our play of the match. What else could it be other than this incredible tackle from Antonio Pineda? We showed it to you just a moment ago, but he drives forward. He picks out Landon Johnson to his right-hand side. He's going to find Justin Suko. The entire move, and especially that finish by Justin Suko, are our play of the match, presented by Courtyard Marriott, finding the bottom left corner. That is your play of the match. The final shot of the match makes things a full-time score of 3-2. These 2 sides are done with the USL Jägermeister Cup. For them, it is solely the USL League One for the remainder of 2024. 6 games left for Richmond, 9 games left for Spokane to try and find a playoff spot. Next at Charlotte for Richmond, next at home for Spokane on CBS Sports Network. Been a pleasure to share this one with you. For our entire production crew, I'm Jack Edwards saying so long from City Stadium. A full-time score, Richmond 3, Spokane 2.